Hello and welcome into the latest episode of Sorare Rabbit Hunting here on the Sorare Data YouTube channel. I'm Andrew Laird, head of content here at Sorare Data. You can find me as Lairdinho on Sorare. Today to talk about whether I could win 3 podiums from last game week. I had a fairly disappointing game week in terms of how many lineups that I had and how many rewards came out of those lineups. But man, did I rack up the coins, and maybe that's all that matters. Maybe nothing else matters except coins now, and I'll just become a coin farmer. And one day I'll have enough to buy a new hamburger logo for my club or something. I'm sure we'll find out one day what we can get. Right now, I think it's still just banners and icons, which is not really what I'm looking for. So I'm going to just save up all of my coins. I think I earned like 300 for this midweek after thinking I had a pretty good lineup. It's always fun when you're like, well, I have a pretty good lineup. And then at the end, you're like, well, at least I got 50 coins. Not a great one. But anyway, last weekend was pretty good. I had a number of strong players in different scarcities. And so I actually took a few minutes yesterday to see if I could have won All-Star Super Rare. I wasn't going to be close, it turns out, which actually made me feel better because I did have a few decent super rares, but just not enough. I mean, those All-Star Super Rare is just like so tough to win right now. And maybe I could have done some sort of cap 240, 270, whatever it is, but I don't know. We're going to see. But that's what we do here. Thank you to those who have joined live. If you guys could please hit the like button. Germ Sorare said that they like this week's So Far Sorare podcast. So yeah, if you have not seen, or if you're not like a regular listener of the So Far Sorare podcast with Nellis, I was on this week. We recorded it yesterday, and so I don't know, it was a fun conversation. Like I could talk to John for an hour about and never talking about Sorare, and so it was just a really fun conversation. I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes at the beginning where we literally didn't really talk about Sorare, but that's what happens. Like I met John last year down in Orlando, and so it's one of those that like we were kind of friendly talking to each other like online. And so then you finally meet someone and like, you just become much friendlier. And so it was like talking to a friend on a pod, it was like a phone call with a friend. So that was a lot of fun. So you haven't checked that out, please make sure you do that. So yeah, sounds like a few people have already checked it out. So thank you for doing that. And so yeah, let's dive into my lineups for the week. Oh, another thing that I wanted to point out, or at least bring up, was thank you to everybody for the kind words about the end of last week's show. I feel like I went way longer than I wanted to, and then I could have gone on for another hour, to be honest. I'm not really going to start doing that every week, but I'm also not going to rule that out. To be honest, I feel like this rabbit hunting concept is already getting old. It's kind of like it's the thing that like that allows me to like know I have something to talk about. I'm going to be very honest here with at the beginning of this show, but I feel like at some point it's the same thing over and over. And I've never been like a huge watcher myself of like lineup building videos or people going over their lineups and reward reveals. And I don't think anybody really cares what I think about it. And so I don't know, we'll see. But that doesn't mean I'm stopping the show. I'm just warning everyone now that it's possible that I just go off on tangents sometimes. I'm here by myself. And so there's nobody really to keep me on topic. Usually I have Andy during Sorare Andrews that allows me to, I can blame him for taking us off topic. Or in the NBA show, Keith is really good. Gold Guy 231 is really good at being like, yeah, so if we can talk about something that has nothing to do with our actual topic today, then I think that's what happens. So today I'll take full responsibility when this show falls off the rails. So I'm not going to do it yet. I am going to go through my lineups because maybe there is something here that I missed last week that I could have just ended up winning everything instead of close to nothing. So anyway, obviously we go to Sorare data because like I don't know how you would ever check how your lineups did otherwise. Sorare Malta said the tangents are the best bits. All right. Noted. So let's go to my results. Like I just said, I'm not going to go through all of my results for the week, but you'll see that I had so many lineups and literally won one card. It turned out to be a pretty good one. It also turned out to be a card that I had already won previously, and it has since been sold. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing about when I sold them or how the process of selling it, although I do think it's kind of a classic Sorare story that do I go through it? Am I really going to tangent already? I'm not going to do it. But anyway, I sold the card. Basically, I posted the card for floor price, got a ton of offers that were like way below, and I kept just counter offering close to my price. And then finally somebody just market bought it at the price I had listed. And so that's all it is. Mike saying you should get your son on a talk with or two if he's ever at home, can discuss all the picks he gets involved with across the Sorare platform. So he doesn't do a ton with my football lineups, to be honest. I told him he could do like the amateur leagues, and then I realized I needed some of those cards for like cap 220 limited. I need one, but he's not doing a ton on the football side. But when baseball starts, he does all the work. So I'm not even going to pretend like I can do that work. But this is football now. Please, Mike, I'm trying to keep us on topic here. So anyway, so the big thing, 6,000 coins. And I to be honest, I did hit every threshold. So I actually DM'd Gator Guy, like maybe it was Saturday morning. And I'm like, I'm not only am I going to win nothing, I am going to not get any of the thresholds either. And I've been prioritizing the thresholds. And so I was like really disappointed. And then I ended up winning all three of them in a classic, like, so I had Michael Dooland here. Shout out to Looking Up with Laird on Sorare TV. Sam Tighe was like, no, he's really good. He's going to be great. And in fairness, he was on set pieces and they won 2-0. So there's a little bad luck, I'm going to say. I didn't watch a second of the game, and I don't really plan on watching any of them. And then so he was Friday, and then Nishikawa was Saturday. Like I woke up and he had the 33, and I was like, I have 78 points from 2 players. Like I'm never going to hit 250. And then Osmar's goal showed up, but then I had no idea what his AA was because he plays in the K League. And then Enzo Capetti scored, and I'm like, man, I'm getting close. And then Jonathan Mensah just smashed his face off for 71 with no decisive, 36 AA. I absolutely love this guy now. And so, and then in 240, Gabriel Florentin was I think he was a Friday DNP. And like the news came out late, like after the deadline. I wouldn't have played him, obviously. And I was really close to getting a threshold here. And I needed a Dwight McNeil decisive. Like McNeil's AA has been really good. And then, but I needed a decisive to get to the threshold. And the dude drew a penalty, and he's becoming my favorite player on Sorare right now. Again, shout out to Looking Up with Laird. Sam Tighe brought us Dooland, and Harry brought up McNeil. I'll be honest that I won McNeil as a tier 2 and was very, very excited. And then this cap 240 I finished a 266 Kikuchi torn ACL during the match. And that was the first one, I believe, that played. Vrioni seems like he's dead in New England now. And then, but Sergei Petrov comes up with a goal and saves the day. So I won one reward, but I had some really good lineups or some really good players. I just like couldn't get them in the right spot. And so we're going to see if I just missed them, or like, meaning like if I should have actually put some together, or if it's just kind of like the dumb luck part of it that I'd never actually build. So we'll go to the concepts. I'll start with limiteds like I normally do. I'm going to try to, if I can bang this out quickly, I'm going to try to do limited, rare, rare pro, and all-star super rare. And the all-star super rare, if we go through rare pro and realize that they're not there, like that's fine. I can skip the super rare part because I don't really compete in all-star super rare that much. I bought super rares at the end of 2022 because I was like, none of the whales are really like taking the super rare division seriously. The prizes weren't that great. The best you could win was a tier 1. And I would love a tier 1 super rare. So like that the top prize for me is great. And so, and if they're not competing there, I was like, let me go compete there. And then Sorare was like, hey, have some tier 0s in all-star and some star rares and $1 million. And now they're like, oh yeah, I'll play that. And so now I have all these super rares that like can't really compete in all-star. So I just try to grind 240 and get my ETH each week. Quinny, what's up? I don't know why that just says elbow cough because it's this one. It's like a dab. But there we go. What's up, Quinny? Thank you for joining. So Drake, I see your comments. I'll get to them at some point. I don't think I can actually help you because again, I don't work for So Rare, as somebody pointed out. I don't know. Anyway, so let's go to All-Star Limited and see what we could have won. And so I've got a Messi and I've got a Veerman. So I'm going to put them in, but like we're already at a point where like the highest scoring player I have had 87.5. So like not great. I will say for the super rare thing, I have a Michael Bradley super rare. So that's when I was like, oh, maybe I could have like done something in super rare, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So Messi, always love to just be able to bang in a Lionel Messi. I'm not going to lie. It's one of my favorite cards. Gave up a ton to get it, but like I was just really excited to get that one. Okay, so we've got a forward and a midfielder. Zelarayan I have as a rare. Alanis is a super rare. So now I have like 2 80+ super rares, which for rare pro, pretty good. In fact, now that, oh man, rare pro might be a disaster. Okay. Pedro Gonçalves I have as a limited, so we'll throw him in. He takes our extra spot because we already had Veerman in as a midfielder. So we need a defender and a goalkeeper. Durso I have as a rare. Palmacol I have as a rare. Our boy Sergei Petrov coming back. Everybody excited that the Russian Premier League is back, so you could just get plowed by Zenit stacks. Don't sleep on Krasnodar. Don't do it. Although they have a terrible matchup this week. All right, so now I need a limited goalkeeper. Runnerson I have as a super rare. Osmar super rare. Like you see this pattern here. I've got some like good super rares. Jordan Morris smashing again is absolutely crazy. Adon. Of course it's Adon. All right, so we've got an Adon limited that will round out our lineup. So this is the highest scoring lineup that I could, or yeah, this is the highest scoring lineup I could have had last game week. That's 351. Is that what we said? 351. So Adon I play in All-Star Limited all the time. I actually did it this game week, like this current one, 353. And I think I played Gonçalves in there too. If I'm playing those two, I'm going to play Sebastian Coates. And did he, like, obviously his score was not as good as Petrov. I should just find, yeah, 50. He only dropped to 55. So this is the lineup that won me a reward last week. And Sporting have been great. Chani, shout out to Chani for buying Adon, and somehow he found like the fountain of clean sheets, and he's been great. So in this situation, like in this concept builder, like I would have definitely played Coates over Petrov. But everything else, like Veerman, I probably play in U23, but not necessarily. And then Messi, I always play here. And then like Gonçalves, like you saw, I literally played him there last week. So let me get some XP in here. I've got 8.5 on Gonçalves, probably the same with Adon. No, Adon's up to 9%. I'm going to have to decide whether I want to boost those guys ever at one point. 8.5. Messi is at 8.5 as well. And I wonder if Petrov, I haven't had Petrov that long, so that's probably why he's not that high. Who do I have left? Petrov and Veerman, right? So Veerman's probably in U23. Petrov was in our capped. He's at 11.5, thanks to the Russian Premier League super cards that they created by not actually selling those cards anymore. And then Veerman, I'm guessing, oh, there he is. Where did I play Veerman? Challenger Europe. Yeah, so Krasnodar conceded. So Alonso wasn't great. And then, yeah, of course, Salzburg give up 2 while scoring 4. Like, come on. But anyway, 8.5 on Veerman. And then I think we said that Messi was the highest scoring player, right? The highest scoring. Yep. So we'll captain Gro Lionel Messi. And we get up to 468 fantasy points, which, to be honest, like for All-Star doesn't seem that high, like to finish first. I don't know if it finishes first. We're about to find out. But 468 is like, it's good, but it's not 500, which sometimes is what you need. So let's go back to 351. Rankings All-Star Limited, 468. Yeah, see, so 500 was needed to win. So 468, yeah, this is barely competitive. I'll let Globidug get 18th, and I'll take 19th. So 19th in All-Star Rare is actually not that great. It actually might be like one of the worst finishes I would have had, like prospective finishes I've had on this show, which it's not why you guys come here. You guys come here to see like me grovel when I'm like, oh, I could have won an Erling Haaland. And instead I win whatever, what did I say? 19th place. 19th in All-Star Limited. Andre Blake. Not bad. It's funny to see him right after and actually valued more than Martin Odegaard. And Ter Stegen, I actually have one already. So, but Blake would have been great. That would have been really fun. And so yeah, okay. Is what it is. I don't think there's anything like particularly special about this other than that's what I would have won. And yeah, I ended up winning. Where did I finish? 175th. So I won this Mori Diao card, which I have since sold. And like I said, I had actually previously won him. So I have won and sold 2 Mori Diao cards, which that's just what Sorare is all about, right? Whatever. Let's go to the good stuff here. Do we do super rare? Let's do rare pro first, because I think that could be like particularly fun and painful. So Tadic I have here. Tadic is a card I absolutely always play. Well, I don't want to say absolutely always play, but whatever lineup I want to be the best, I play Tadic. She's my best card. Like, I'm fairly certain he's my most valuable card. Let's see. If you go to my gallery and then roster prices, you can see, yeah, right there. And then it just falls off a cliff pretty much. So we've got Tadic. So one of my favorite things here, and I almost did it this week, is play Dusan Tadic with Michael Bradley. And I'll be honest, I almost played this exact combination for this current game week. And I had the lineup saved in the lineup builder all week, like until last night. So talking to Andy about how like who makes lineups early, like I made the All-Star Rare Pro I make early because I always want it to be the lineup that like my best lineup. Whether it is or not is when I build my lineups, I can see, is it even worth going after? But I full-fledged like had for this game week, Adon Rare, Sebastian Coates Super Rare, Michael Bradley Super Rare, Dusan Tadic rare and a Hans Van Aken rare. And there's like a legitimate fear that I do this, like we're back here in a week, and that's the lineup that could have won me Kylian Mbappe. And because I didn't play it, I ended up playing Enzo Perez. That's who I played. And for the number of times I've called Enzo the GOAT, but like literally, this card was Michael Bradley for a long time this week in the lineup builder. And it's going to be both wonderful and really painful if he smashes. So Zelarayan is I have his rare, but I have an Osvaldo Alanis super rare. So I'm going to put him in. Oh, actually, I can put both in. Zela, rare. Alanis, super. Alanis, super rare. So, like, no one in their right mind is playing this. Yeah, Isco. So Enzo's going to start for River in an easy game. That's why I played him. Like, simple as that. So basically, my highest scoring goalkeeper finishes this out, and it's Tomas Durso, who, like, if you thought this lineup was stupid already, let's just really make it stupid. Like, if you made this lineup, like if you have these cards and you make this lineup, you should sell Dusan Tadic. Like, this is something that we've talked like numerous times about on the strategy show. Jared's every Monday. You need, like, if this is where you're finishing, obviously, like, you can get a great card, but like at some point you need to surround a great card with other great cards, or else you're not really taking advantage of it. And so if these are the best cards that you're putting out with a Dusan Tadic rare, you need to keep, like, do something else. Drake is asking, I just have one question. Yes or no? Did you know Sorare scam people? I did not know that. No, I didn't. So let's get some XP in here so that we can really, like, feel this pain here. So Zelarayan is 9.5, which I didn't even know it was that high. Oh, maybe I did actually. So we've got him at 9.5. Tadic is at 6% because I'm a late Tadic buyer. And the other cards I've actually the other cards I've had for a while. So Alanis is at, what did I play him in? So there's no 33.5%. 33.5. Sometimes we talk about whether it's better to just have another like a really good rare. Like, I have a 33.5 Osvaldo Alanis that I've been unable to sell for years. Where are we here? We still need Bradley and Durso, right? Surely those would be easy ones to see. Where is Bradley? There he is. So Bradley, 28.5. This looks like 28.5, doesn't it? You would just dream of being an Osvaldo Alanis 33. And then did I not even play Durso? Room, Gallese, Stuver, Barraza, Vargas. I didn't even play him. Adon. Oh my God. I didn't even play Tomas Durso. That's how good at this game I am. I don't even remember who he played. Is it even a good matchup? Oh man, I probably should have played him. Woof. Tadic captain, 525. Oh, Keith. Good point here. That would explain it. Yeah, Isco, it's a decent matchup for Durso. Yeah, I mean, wasn't he in the bottom lineup? Oh, was he? Did I play him? Oh, man, that's going to make me feel better. Sorare Malta. I mean, I got all these coins and I didn't even play Durso? Wait a minute. Did I not even submit a U23 lineup? I thought I had U23. It was just Rare Pro because I had no. Could have played him here. Why? I actually wonder if I did play. I wonder if we just didn't. Sorry, I'm trying to go back here quickly on Sorare. I'm never going to be able to find this quickly on Sorare, am I? Did we not import U23? Okay. So I did play Tomas Durso. For some reason, it's not showing up here. That makes me feel a little bit better. Let me see if I can pull that up, because this is going to make, okay, it's not that bad. Okay. You guys can settle down. I'm not a total moron, at least not when it comes to this. So I'll have to look into making sure that we import that, because I actually did play him. No, Keith, I did not have a card. No, I'm pretty sure. Here's the lineup. I definitely still have all these cards. So like, this is a reasonable lineup. It didn't do well enough to get a reward, and it's definitely like a throwaway. So it's not that. So settle down. All right. I'm sharp. I got it. You guys have no faith. It's ridiculous. 525 for All-Star Rare Pro. I feel like that should be really good. That should be a good score, right? 525. I win by 50. Go me. Let's review how stupid this lineup is, okay? It's not one that I should make. You do also notice, though, imagine the scenes when you actually win a division. Isco, I have won a division before. It's been a long, long time since then, but it's happened twice. But if you notice here, the 4 of the 5 cards are champion in America. And so theoretically, I could just put in somebody for Tadic, and I would have smashed America too. But I'm actually going to keep this lineup up here because I'm going to go to All-Star Rare. So theoretically, these are my best cards, and I play them in All-Star Rare. And I want to see if I could also have won, All-Star Rare Pro. So let's see if I could have also won All-Star Rare, because what's better than finding out that you could have won 1 division than finding out you could have won 2, right? And then maybe, so as you see, those were 2 high scoring super rares. Yeah. So Isco saying that's a lineup you could play in America. Agreed. In fact, I bet it's going to change. Where am I here? Let's see. I mean, I don't even have to see. If it wins All-Star, or I guess I need somebody other than Tadic. So my highest scoring America forward was, I don't think I had any America forward that scored that well. My America forwards aren't great. JMO I only have as a limited, so I can't include him. And yeah, see, there's a lot of scrolling. I guess we're only at 67. A bear I used to have actually, I don't think I ever had a rare. I think I just have the limited, and he's hurt now too. See, we're like scrolling pretty far here. Copetti, it's Bernardeschi. That's who it is. And he's at 60. So, and he shows up as a midfielder. So that gets annoying. We know you want to be able to put other things in. So So he scored 60. Let's give him 65 with XP. And actually, I should probably give, yeah. So I'm going to add 65 to this because Zelarayan was the highest scorer. I think it was actually Durso, but I'm not. The idea of captaining a goalkeeper, just get out of here with that. So would 480 have won in America Rare Pro? I mean, surely it does, right? Yeah, okay. So we absolutely smashed that one. Now the fun part, what would I have won? Let's do America first, because I feel like that'll at least like help me not seem as bad. Carlos Hill, good card. Heard of him. Okay, so All-Star, Rare Pro, Bukayo Saka. So I love Saka, and that's not a card I'm sitting here just like, Like if it was an Mbappe, then that's a bummer. Super bummer. And so, yeah, so that's that. Sorry, let me catch up on the chat here. If not one you would choose, but if you don't have much choice, this is the game week it pays off. Yep. And Surface said, without other guests talking, these Friday rabbit holes have become so rare. Content doesn't even matter. I actually am, I think I'm coming down with something, so my voice is like even more radio-ish. Dulcet tones. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And then Gil is bang average. If you ask my boss, he certainly agrees. If Tadic is your best forward, Zelarayan is also a top mid. Bradley's not a bad choice in All-Star. Goalkeeper, if not in U23 competitive, where else would you have prioritized him? Alanis is the only head scratcher. I mean, are you really putting like Michael Bradley confidently in a lineup with Dusan Tadic? And I guess you are with Zelarayan. I don't know. I'm not like a Bradley hater by any means, but there's one person that I greatly respect who always reminds me that Michael Bradley is the GOAT. And I do a podcast with him or stream with him every week. I mean, he's really good. I will take this time to just point out that I paid Andy paid 10 times more for his Bradley Super Rare than I paid for mine. I will say, though, I probably would have played Bradley and Bernardeschi together. And so there was that. Sorry, Andy. So if I this is going to be Tadic in this lineup because this was the All-Star one. But let's see if separately I could have won All-Star Rare without these three and like 5 new guys. And so he probably has. Good point. Nobody needs to stand up for Andy here. He can stand up for himself on Thursdays. He doesn't need it here. Anyway, did I pull up another one? Here we go. So let's use this for All-Star and see how close we would have gotten an All-Star Rare without at least my 3 top scoring rares. This feels a little weird. Should we do maybe we'll do Super Rare. Let me do Super Rare first because rares are kind of boring. You guys aren't here for that. So we know that Alanis is in. Like right away, it's like, I'm not actually playing this. Oh, wait. So we've got Osvaldo Alanis and obviously the GOAT, Michael Bradley. Let me just take these things off. Here we go. Where's Michael? There he is. Okay. The foundation of every great all-star super rare lineup here. Shout out Mazatlan. All right, so what do we got? Tadic is a rare, Messi limited. We got that super rare. Let's see. Alanis, Durso. Back in the day, I'm old enough to remember when you could play rares in super rare division. But now it's only in Asia. And they may have taken that away anyway. So strangely enough, I have an Arnie Mayer super rare. I won it in All-Star Super Rare, tier 3, but good card. And he had some sort of decisive, very cheap. 0.195 is the floor price right now. Nobody's paying that. He's away to Bayern this week, so I don't believe I played him. So I still need a Super Rare 4, which is always a tough one. I remember I pointed out that Enzo Copetti had a goal in that St. Louis game, which Andy, who's here, was at that game. And he will remind us all that St. Louis, what are they called? St. Louis City SC? STLC SC? Sorry. I get confused. Runnerson, 78. Oh, that's a good score. Runner. I think he was the first super rare goalie I ever bought. And then we need a forward. I would love a Dwight McNeil super rare. That would be a really fun card. I have no way to actually get one though. And then obviously Cecina would be nice. Ito would be nice. I thought about getting one of those, even though he's not like not the greatest anymore, or like he's not Genk Ito. There's Enzo. There's Copetti. Oh, okay. So Copetti is the biggest one. Now, obviously, I'm using the super rares here that I would have used in Rare Pro. So I couldn't have made this lineup, and like I'm not winning All-Star Rare Pro and All-Star Super Rare. So there's the Germ saying the in gallery button. You're right. I should do that. Well, technically, these are all in my gallery. But you're right. I could just go to the players tab. So I guess I should throw in some XP. So like Coates nowhere near. Alexandru Maxim just moved to Besiktas and didn't get the start, even though some people said he would. He didn't. All right. So Runnerson is at 31. I just really love a good over 30 XP. And then Alanis was 33.5. And then Bradley was 28.5. And I got Copetti recently, and there's no way I played. Actually, I might have played Meyer. Here he is. He's at 26 because he's a new season card. And then Copetti, where did I play him? He's at 24.5. So not so bad. And then is it a Bradley captain or was it Alanis? In gallery button at bottom of the concept builder. Oh, just to add those guys in. I thought you meant for my actual scores there. So Bradley captain, just as Andy Black would have it. And we are at 520 in All-Star Super Rare, which sounds good and bad. Not bad. It sounds high, but it's not really that high. And Sorare Malta, I don't know if McNeil stays if Everton get relegated, but you're right. He's like, I don't know if he would be he would be one of the best U23 forwards on the platform. You'll never convince me otherwise. Anyway, 520 in All-Star Super Rare. Oh, like borderline. I don't know why we don't include fractional points here, but borderline podium. Wow, that's actually much higher than I thought it would be. And I'm trying to see if like any of these people played uniques. This is a unique. But that might be it. Everybody else was just playing super rares. Okay. So what's third and fourth? We'll just look at both third and fourth. Third was a Hugo Ekitike super rare and Ishmael Assar rare. That's really good. And fourth was an Amadou Onana super rare. That first place prize, I would have absolutely just lost it. Rashford super rare and Van rare. And then it's just kind of like a bunch of guys that I sort of know them. Jose Caro, isn't he a Segunda Division? Yeah, he is. La Liga Smart Bank. Apologies to the fine folks at Smart Bank. Paid all that money. And Brian Teixeira. Is that a star? Why is he a star? He's probably no longer a star. So, okay. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then I guess I wonder if if I replaced Alanis and Bradley, because I was using them already in All-Star Rare Pro. So I still need a defender who is not Alanis and an extra. I just want to see how close I would have been. Okay, I had Osmar. He can be my extra. So, sorry, who was it? Germ who was pointing it out? If you use this in your gallery, then it only shows guys who are in your gallery. Good feature. I agree. Good call. And then a super rare defender who is not, I have Mensa. Oh, yeah, because Mensa has been a beast. All right, so I ran away with All-Star Rare Pro and All-Star Super Rare. Mensa very much is not a 33.5% card, so I got to adjust that one. Mensa 28.5. Just, make sure that we're not cheating at all. 28.5, and I need Osmar, the GOAT. He's right there. No, I played them together already. He's at 32. God, I love that. They never bring K-League cards back. Kidding. All right, so 490. I think that still leaves us pretty, 490 is 7th, which got us Bamba Dieng super rare, whoever that is, the last tier 1. That's a classic, you win and you're like, oh, who's that? Sorry for everyone. I don't follow Lorient that much. Wow, that seems like a terrible reward for a tier 1. Why would you have him in tier 1? Germ said somebody should clip that without the kidding at the end. I don't even remember what I said at this point. That's probably for the better. Anyway, so yeah, rare. So we would have won Rare Pro. What did I say? 8th-ish in 7th? 7th in All-Star Super Rare. And then I guess we could do All-Star Rare. It's just without Tadic, Durso, or Zelarayan, which seems like a weird way to stop yourself from making a good lineup. But that's what we do here. We just make decent lineups. Oh, I hope they don't mean K-League. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. But sometimes you say things out loud that you mean. So no Tadic, no Zelarayan, no Durso. All right. So we kick off with Paxton Pomykal. Of course. Of course. This is one of the first cards I ever bought on the platform was Paxton Pomykal. I thought I was going to be absolutely filthy rich because of that card. Isn't that funny? The things we convince ourselves. Meyer, Gross, Runnerson, Koke. There's McNeil. So we'll get him in the mix. This is already not going to be that great of a card. Do you guys, when you make all-star rare lineups, you still think that there's a threshold? Like you check your score and it's like 258 and you're like 73 points from a tier 3, but you're like, well, at least I got threshold. And you're like, oh, they don't have that here anymore. Well, I mean, they have like ETH payouts, but they don't have like true threshold. Am I the only one who does that still? All right, Armani. It was a full 10%. I'm just going to slap that in right now because I know he's at 10%. Love that. Yeah, Paxton or Jeremiah Gray. Yeah, Paxton is like smashing lately. He's finally. Anyway, I have Alfonso Espino. This is like one of the greatest runs I've ever had on a tier 3 reward ever. Espino, excuse me. Apologies, Alfonso. All right. And then the last one, Adon, I already have a goalkeeper, right? So, just the next highest scoring rare I have, which is Akitu Fukumori, who back in the day was like a borderline cheat code. He wasn't really, but like this guy had some awesome scores back in the day. Like when I joined, I think he took set pieces he's a center back. I mean, look at this, like 5 100s. When do you see that from like a 52 AA? Oh, when can we 64.7 AA? When was this? Game week 176? See, this is like the cool stuff that you can do with Sorare data. You go back and you're just like, oh, I can, within 3 clicks, I can find out how Akitu Fukumori had almost a 70 AA. Only with a double-double, too. None of this triple, like gift points that he gets. He earned all of these. 2 tackles, 1. That's not even that great. We got 30 possession points here. He had only 1 duel, 5 interceptions. I mean, he just did it all. 13 penalty. I mean, I love this. Mr. Meaty Chunks. Love that name too. The Asian Schlotterbeck, but better. If anybody wants to trade their Schlotterbeck for my Fukumori, you know where to find me. Anyway, so here we are. Let's get some XP in because that's what we do. Got to be fair. These guys have trained hard. They deserve all the XP that they can get. If you notice, Carlos Heel, nowhere near these teams. In a 3-0 win against one of the worst teams in the league. All right, where are we? There's Fukumori, who I played in Cap 220, came up just short. Even with a JMO, I asked Gold Guy if I should play. I was like, here's the most like so rare question that you'll get. And I'm like, would you rather play Jordan Morris or Christian Brules? He said Morris, and he scored. So, Gold Guy, thank you for that, even though I did nothing with it, with that lineup. All right, 9% Fukumori. We got 10% Armani. McNeil and Espino are fairly new cards, so they're not going to have high XP. But Pamikal has been training for years. He can't be. Actually, that might have been the first game week I played McNeil. So we'll just leave him at 5%, unfortunately. And then Espino. There's the Brule. See? Didn't even do that well. Where am I going here? Who did I say? Espino and did I not even use Pamikal? Oh, Pamikal was in that. Was in that U23 lineup that didn't come in. So he is at 9%. 9, and then Espino. It's possible I didn't even play Espino. That one is at 5.5%. But like, this guy is just a full-fledged. He's now tier 4 with the new system. Look at this insight here. Fukumori used to play left back. Oh, was he left back? I really thought I mean, I guess we could just look. Anyway, Espino, what I say was 5.5. Let me get that in before I forget. 5.5. We'll go back to Fukumori. We talk about goats on this show. Michael Bradley and Nikitu Fukumori. Yeah, Sorare scores. Let's go all time. We'll go back to that. Like, what was that? 140-ish. Yeah. See, it's all center backs. Mike, come on now. Oh, we got a left back. But that's it. So I'll hear none of this. That's like saying Trent Alexander-Arnold's like a defensive right back. All right. We've got, who was the highest scoring guy here? Was it McNeil? Oh, I think it was Pomacall, actually. So that gets us up to 432 points in All-Star Rare, which, like, old threshold. 432. It actually might still be a tier 1. I'm going to say 20. It's a lot of 432s. Let's say 27th, just to, like, not be rude. 427th. We'll go. Oh, I took the rewards page off. And wow, 50 minutes. Time flies when you're talking about goats, man. I tell you. Just waiting for that Michael Bradley 100 this week. Who they got? Columbus? They got Columbus, and I didn't even play Eloy Room, so there's absolutely no way that they're doing anything. All-Star Rare, 27th, let's call it. Oh, it was a tier 1. All right. Vincenzo Grifo. I actually like this guy a lot. And could have gotten pretty much all of these guys, depending, like 430 up to 22nd. So Sun. Oh, that would have been cool. Sun would have been a cool one. Imagine like winning Oliver Baumann and right behind you somebody wins Sun Heung-min. Or this Brat guy. Who I'm pretty sure is a goalie, which is why, yeah. La Liga Smart Bank. Always. Anyway. So, would have been fun. Oh, wait. Yeah, would have been fun. Would have gotten some cool rewards. Saka Rare for the All-Star Rare Pro win with this lineup right here. Tomas Durso, Osvaldo Alanis, Michael Bradley, Dusan Tadic, and Lucas Zelarayan. Santa's Boys is asking why Brat's name is like that. I have no idea. There's some weird like names on the platform that I don't know why that one. It's one of those that you feel like they would have minted like 2 of them. They would have been like, is that right? Do we have that right? Like, can you even search that? It probably like stands for something. Yeah. Oh man. Do we even want to know what Brat stands for? Bloods rule all around town. Good to know. What about the footballer? Quentin Bratt. Yeah, I see no reason for his name to look like that on Sorare. No, it's his surname. Nothing to his parents. Yeah, that's a weird one though. I don't know why. Like he doesn't even capitalize it. I do appreciate like the full caps though. But yeah, he's just Quentin. There's really nothing that special to it. All right, we've gone like 55 minutes. I got nothing else. I wasn't going to tell a story today. I told a brief one on Nellis's show about how Andy and I became friends and how I got this job at Sorare Data. Not like this one talking about how bad my lineup selection process is. But so I probably won't go into anything this week. If you guys have any like questions or something, in fact, if anybody in chat can just explain to me what this fraud accusations are. I don't think I was actually being accused, which is nice. I guess maybe you guys just took care of it and I don't need to go into it. If you see the chat, maybe you know. I don't know. I was never a big support guy. Not you. Oh, okay. Great. Problem solved. Nothing I appreciate more than the not not me. So that's good. So yeah, that's all I got. And that was actually more fun than maybe because I had decent lineups. I don't know if I'm not going to go through my lineups here for this game week. That's not why you're here. You don't want to know how well I can do. You want to see how well I could have done had I made stupid lineups. Like, again, I think this one's fine. This is like the definition of a throwaway lineup. This one kind of feels that way too. This one actually looks like my all-star. So, Sir Hermelta, does this show not tempt you to throw in totally random lineups? It doesn't. It really doesn't. And the reason why is because sometimes it feels like a giant pain to like build lineups and all this stuff, but it's actually my favorite part of the game. Like, that's the puzzle part of like, I have all these pieces how do I fit them in so that they are the best together? Yeah, the Sorare had a random lineup generator. That's a great idea, actually. Maybe I should try that too. But it's just that no, it does not have, because like I make plenty of lineups that are like that I want them to make sense. I want like the right correlations, because if like this guy does what, I pretty much always try to play a goalkeeper with a defender on the same team if I have them, because like if there's a clean sheet, then I want both of them to benefit in a single lineup. Like I'm someone who I'd rather win like a star rare or tier 1 super rare than like 5 tier 3, tier 5, whatever the lowest tier is now. Stogie said the moment you throw in random lineups, your main lineups will all hit. So like I actually, a few weeks ago, I had like one of my better weeks. That's when I won McNeil. And the lineups did feel a little, not random, but I just didn't think they were that good. That's what it was. I didn't think the lineups were good enough. And I do have that thought like each week when I do my lineups, where I'm looking at them and I'm like, they're just, the matchups aren't great for my players, or, a certain guy is out, or a guy plays in Korea and I have no idea if he'll get scored because he's playing Sunday. And so this week, the lineups just kind of came together okay. Like I don't have one lineup where I'm like, this is a banger and I'm going to win All-Star Rare Pro or whatever it is. I really just didn't like, well, if I could win that 0.1 ETH again, which for me was like all three threshold, the limited, rare, and super rare thresholds, plus the extra for top 300 in All-Star Limited. Like my All-Star Limited, that's where I have my, like the best players that I have. So like this is the lineup this week that I'm hoping finishes in the top 300 to allow me to win ETH. Like that's how I'm going about it. So that's what I hope to do. And if I get there, then great. And if there's some extra cards, that's great. But yeah, at no point in my lineup building process was I like sending it around and be like, can you believe how good this lineup is? Because I just don't get there. I thought about it. I actually talked about this with Gator Guy like privately recently, that like if I just sold like 80% of my gallery and just had like 3 really good lineups every week, what I would do. I don't think that's the way I want to play. Like I have like 400 and something cards. I mean, I don't need 400 cards. And frankly, if anybody wants to like buy, like if anybody, yeah, like bundle buys limited cards, like really bad ones that I don't even want to take the time to post for 85 cents. If you want to just grab a bunch, like hit me up on Discord or Twitter. But the lineup building process is fun to me. And so just like randomizing it is probably the opposite of what I want to do. But maybe just a few cold weeks and I'll do it just to do it, or I'll have somebody else build my lineups for me, which is, I feel like lineup building is a pain in the butt for a lot of people. So like asking somebody to do it for your lineups where they don't know all your players or stuff like that, then it's just a disaster waiting to happen. But we'll see. So yeah, thank you to everybody. If you guys could hit the like button on the video, that's really appreciated. Subscribe to the channel too if you haven't. Let's see. Next week, we've like more videos now than ever. I may not speak this weekend after this week. So we have the strategy show on Monday. And then Wednesday, we did the office hours with Maxime. If you guys haven't caught that, that was a really fun episode. I think we're going to start doing that regularly. I don't know if it's going to be every week, but we are going to try to do it regularly. And that includes like talking about Sorare data and like what things we're working on and the priorities that we have. So if you're interested in sort of that side, then certainly tune into that. And then the NBA show is also on Wednesdays. We're getting closer to the end of the regular season. I did see that they announced some new competitions this week, which I don't want to talk about here, but I think that they're bad. Yeah. Anyway, Sorare Andrews on Thursdays. That was yesterday, so if you haven't caught that, check that out. And again, I was on Nellis's podcast this week, So Far So Rare. So if you are not sick of me by now, which is astonishing if you are not, because I am sick of me, then check that out. That was actually a lot of fun. So if you're looking for like hard-hitting Sorare analysis, you're going to have to find another show. But if you want to have some fun, that's what both shows yesterday were. Sorare Andrews and So Far So Rare. I think so. Yeah. Gator Guy described the last like 30 minutes of Sorare Andrews as two guys on a stream. And that's basically what it sounded like. So, oh, and Germ is reminding everybody that the NBA has an earlier lock today. I have no idea why, but thank you, Germ, for the reminder. So anyway, thank you to everyone for joining, and I'll talk to you next week quite a bit.